You know, this is your first time in studio, but it's not your first time on the show. And in fact, I went back to try to find that episode because it wasn't on YouTube. It was just in my audio files. It's episode number 18. And I'm going to make sure that's posted on YouTube so people can watch this and watch that one also. We got the studio decorated with books. Have you read any of these? House of FIFA? The Fallout of the House of FIFA? Right here? Nah? You ain't skimmed through it?
No.
Let's get this thing started, man. You're listening to WBH Radio. I'm your host, William Holly. I got my brother. We were students together in the Brooklyn College Sports Management graduate program. My man, Dare Ayoola. Dare, welcome, sir.
Thank you, bro.
I really appreciate you being here. World Cup. We coming off of watching the U.S. men's national team play England to a 0-0 draw. How you feeling about that contest?
Wow. You have no idea just seeing that game, and I felt like we could have won that game.
Mm-hmm.
And we've come a long way since 2018 when we didn't make it. I think there was a whole new rebuilding for the U.S. men's national team. And it's starting to show now, you know. Like,
hold on, we should have won that game?
Yeah,
Where?
we should have won that game. We should have won that game. We had so much opportunity. We bullied them in the midfield. They couldn't even, you know. So let me put it this way: the midfield is it's like a quarterback. The quarterback distributes the ball
In the midfield.
Well, soccer, you're in the midfield. You're looking for the guys in front to give them the right ball to go score a goal.
Okay.
But once you can bully the midfield, they cannot pass the ball to the guys who are supposed to score.
So USA was holding stout.
Yeah, we had 3 guys in the midfield that bust the whole thing. Like, they just held they held England back. Like, they couldn't even move forward. And that's a big achievement.
Dare, I'm a casual fan of this sport, man. Yeah. I don't know about this moral victory 0-0 stuff. Why didn't we put the ball in the net?
Well, first of all, you're playing the number 5 team in the world in England. So on a good day, they could have won that game easy, against the United States. But I felt like today something's just special. It's like, especially for me as a fan, when it comes to the U.S. playing England, it's like a conflict of interest for me, because those two countries, when it comes, I know a lot of people don't want to talk about politics when it comes to sports, but you cannot avoid that.
Politics is safe here, brother. Go for it.
Absolutely. When it comes to immigration and opening your hands out to the rest of the world to come and have a better life,
yes.
The 3 countries in the world, the United States, England, and the others.
Okay.
So when you look at those teams, it's like the guys that were born like in Nigeria, but they play for England. And I'm Nigerian. There are guys born in Jamaica playing for England. It's like a melting pot.
Okay.
And when it comes to club football as well, club soccer, we'll say club soccer. Like, I'm an Arsenal fan. I have 3 players on the English team that I want them to have a good game, right? Because if they have a good game, that's good for my club because they're going to come back with full confidence and they're going to do well for Arsenal. Mm-hmm. Bukayo Saka, number 17 for England. Mm-hmm. You're familiar with him. It was a kid that was abused during the European Championship 2 years ago when he missed the penalty for England. And all the racists came after him.
Oh, yeah, he was ridiculed.
Yeah.
So for him to battle back, that's kind of that's impressive.
He came back strong.
That's impressive. But let me talk about this game. The last play.
Yeah.
Christian Pulisic.
Yeah.
He kind of just kicks the ball away to a teammate. It's like 30 seconds left in running time. Why does he not take a shot on the goal, Dare?
I think the manager gave him the instruction to hold on to that. We'd rather keep a point than have, if we lose that ball, England might counterattack, and then you lose the game at the last few seconds. Because if we've seen anything during this World Cup, it's the ridiculous extra time being added. So you might think, oh, there's only 1 minute left or like 30 seconds left. But from the referee might decide, hey, that was wasting of time somewhere there. You have extra 40 seconds. And 40 seconds means a lot. Like you can tell in basketball with timeouts and football, you know.
So it was best to get out of there with a draw.
Yeah, absolutely.
I'm going to give you that. I'm going to give you that. But Dari,
I would have gone for a win. But at that time, if you're really experienced, you have to keep that ball. That was what happened to us during the last World Cup that we were in. I think it was against
2014?
Algeria. All right, either Algeria or Ghana, I don't remember. But not having enough experience. When you have a point for a game like that and you have few seconds left, you want to hold on to what you have because you do not want to lose that ball. That's number one. You have to keep possession. If you cross that ball in and we lose that ball and England gets it, within 20 seconds, they can
go the other way and score.
Yeah.
I'm going to give you that because from what I saw from the announcers, everything, England was a tough opponent. To be able to walk away with a draw is cool. But, Dar, I'm going to say this. I'm not a big-time soccer fan. I'm a casual observer. I'm about basketball. I'm about football. I've coached basketball, played basketball. One thing I know about sports, you got to beat the teams you're supposed to beat.
Okay.
Right?
Yeah.
If you got an inferior opponent or opponent that you have the edge on, you must capitalize on that. And I bring that up because of the game America played against Wales.
Yeah.
Wales has not been in the World Cup since 1958.
Absolutely.
America was leading that contest 1-0. And to let Wales tie that game, I felt was rather disappointing. I walked away from that game discouraged. What did you feel about the match against Wales?
First of all, we should have won that game. No excuse. The guy who gave away the penalty, Zimmerman, totally inexperienced. I don't know why he had to go for that tackle. Like, Harry Kane wasn't going to score. And just give the goalie a shot to, like, save that ball. I think the goalie was going to save it anyway. And I didn't finish my story from the other time.
Go for it.
Bukayo Saka, number 17 for England. Arsenal player. Born parents from Nigeria. Plays for England. Lovely kid, close ties to Nigeria. We have number 4 playing for England, right back. He's an Arsenal player too.
Okay.
The goalie, not the English goalie, he's on the bench. He's better than the guy who played today for England. But hey, his time's gonna come. He's also an Arsenal
That's your
player.
opinion. We don't know if he's better.
Come on, man. I haven't missed an Arsenal game since '96, bro. I don't think that kid is better. We're number one in the league, by the way,
Okay.
in the toughest league in the world, the English Premier League.
Okay.
Arsenal's number 1 right now, leading to the to the World Cup, and our goalkeeper has a joint highest clean sheet in the Premier League in a very tough league. So that kid shouldn't be on the bench.
Okay.
The only reason the guy who played today is just pretty much loyalty to him because he's been at every, the last World Cup and the European Championships for England. That's why. But they probably waiting for him to make one mistake. And our goalie just needs one opportunity, and he's never coming off that goalpost again.
Okay.
Back to now. So that's England. For the United States, obviously, we all love the U.S. I live here. Even though I'm Nigerian, I support the U.S. I still support Nigeria, but, things are never straightforward with them. So it's a waste of time, going all the way. The American goalie is Arsenal's number 2 goalie. So I'm just trying to explain my conflict of interest.
Okay.
When it comes to the two teams. So I kind of wanted to draw because, it's like, those are my 2 teams. I got ties in England. I got people over there too, and I live here. So it's like, man, that's a tough one, And but I United States all day. I wish we won that game, but it wasn't gonna be easy. Based on statistics, bro, like no way. I felt like we put in a great work.
The U.S. dominated the possession in the Wales game.
For a certain time, yeah. Oh, in the Wales? Yeah, absolutely. I thought you were talking about this one. Yeah.
So that was a major letdown. You have to seize those opportunities.
It was, yeah. And that might come back to bite them because we're playing Iran in the next game. And again, going back to politics, the United States might not look at it like Iran, U.S., everything going on outside sports. If it was maybe American football, then we might put that sentiment into play in Iran. But this is soccer. The Iranians, I'll tell you what, they're thinking about that. Like, we have to beat the U.S. I don't even care if it's soccer. We just have to always beat the U.S. at anything because that's our number one enemy, you know? Not the people, by the way.
Right.
They're great people. Iranians are great people, but the leadership, you get it.
USA.
Yeah.
What's the identity of the team? Is
Right
it defense? Is it offense? Is it speed? Is it quickness? Is it a superior offensive power? Like, what is the identity?
Right now, identity attacking football. I think attacking football.
Well, if the identity is attacking football and not scoring enough goals, we're in bad shape.
We need a better striker. Unfortunately, you cannot go buy a striker when it comes to playing for your national team.
Who's the premier striker for USA right now? Pulisic?
No, he's not a striker. That's a problem. Tim Ware either. Which shout out to Tim. It's from Rosedale Academy. Like I'm from Rosedale. Tim Ware back in the days, young kid playing in Rosedale, and I've seen him play a couple of times in Rosedale as a youngster in the park.
He's the one that scored the goal against Wales.
His father, the president of Liberia.
Yes.
And hold on, I'm gonna show you something real quick. President of Liberia, George Ware was the president back in this. Just George Ware right there. That was a friend with my mom.
Nice.
He's friends with my mom.
Dare is showing me pictures of him with the president of Liberia.
That's a long time ago. Before he was the president. That's Tim Ware's father.
Yes.
He was the best soccer player in 1995. The only African player ever to win it.
Win what?
The best player in the world. They call it the Ballon d'Or. It's like Ronaldo's won it 5 times. Messi has won it 6 times.
He's the only African player to ever win it.
The only African player, which is a problem as well with FIFA and all the nonsense going on there.
But hold on, where are we at?
The identity. I felt like attacking football, that's the identity. And when you're talking about identity, it's about building your team around a particular player. And I think the U.S. right now, we want to build that team around Pulisic. And we have the second or the third youngest squad in the World Cup this year. And that's an identity right there. It's not about, is it defense, is it attack, is it midfield? Identity is more like, who are we and what do we want to put out there?
Right.
And we have this young team that I think they're going to go far. And that's just the beginning because there's going to be more kids coming up the ranks. And
what do you think Pulisic played thus far in these first 2 games?
Beautiful. I don't like him as a Chelsea player, but as a United States player, all the way, man. When it comes to international.
Why do you say beautiful? He did assist on Wade's goal against Wales. What else have you seen from him?
He held the ball. The defenders had a problem with him. That right there, that's a player you want to have on your team. Somebody who doesn't lose or is good at keeping possession. And the defenders, he scared the crap out of them. He's the reason why they couldn't go forward. We had Musa, which, by the way, was born in England, plays for the United States, was in Arsenal's academy before he went to Villarreal in Spain. So the U.S. and England, that's so much in common there. If you're a true fan, this is one team, to be honest.
Listen, that first game, USA versus Wales, it seemed to be a point of emphasis to kind of really beat up on Pulisic. How physical was that game compared to a typical soccer game? Because I saw him grabbing his lower extremities. I saw him grimacing a few times, rolling on the floor. It seemed to be like a point of emphasis. How physical was that game compared to a typical World Cup match?
So when it comes to tactics, right, every manager prepares for each game differently. They know that we are not the most physical team, the Welsh team. And going after Pulisic like that was more like you have to be aggressive so he doesn't have... Again, it's like Tom Brady.
This guy having too much fun.
I'm so sorry. It's like Tom Brady trying to, give the ball to the
wide receivers.
To the wide receiver, and you have to prevent him from doing that.
You got to beat him up.
It's the same thing with soccer, If you can hold Pulisic, you don't let him distribute that ball to the forwards, which was what happened today with England. They couldn't get the ball to our goalpost. So if you can hold Pulisic, that's pretty much it right there. They're not gonna get the supply up front, So that was what they came in aggressive, and I think the referee did a terrible job because there should have been a red card in that game. That's more like rugby and not even soccer.
You feel like the referee missed a call when they were beating up on Pulisic?
Absolutely, he got the penalty right. That was a clean penalty, But the goal, what led to that penalty, was actually a foul that we should have gotten. The player, one of the Welsh players, picked up the ball before it crossed the line and threw it back in. Like, that's a foul right there. The ball was still inbound. It wasn't out of play.
I was really wondering because I seen him getting beat up, and I'm like, is this in play or out of play? But again, I'm not a big enough soccer observer to know.
Different referees, by the way, depends on the league you're coming from. If you're coming from a league like maybe La Liga, the Spanish league, the referees, it's like the way they officiate, it's like basketball, and a little touch is a foul.
Right.
But when you're coming from, if it's a referee coming from maybe the Premier League or the Serie A, the Italian league, they pretty much let you, like it's a physical game, so it's going to take a while before I pull out the yellow or call a foul on that because it's like, come on, get up. It's not, that was easy,
USA's second game against England, the manager, Greg Ballhalter, makes a change in the starting lineup. He puts Haji Wright in for Josh Sargent. What do you think about that move?
I think Josh probably got a yellow card in the first game, and with the World Cup, the group stage, if you get 2 yellows, you miss the next game. So it's like a game of chess.
So it's kind of protecting him.
Absolutely, it's like a game of chess. Plus, we don't know what happens behind closed doors. Right. It might not be fit. The other guy might train better than him. So the manager at the end of the day see the things we don't see as a fan, because they're the ones doing the training. So if those guy's head isn't in the right place, I'd rather play the other guy. But from a fan's point of view, I think it might be because, yellow card. Yeah. And you don't.
He didn't want to throw him out there and the possibility of him getting a second yellow card and being suspended for a game.
Iran, the biggest mistake we can ever make is thinking Iran is going to be an easy game. They beat the Welsh team today. Wales, they did beat them. So don't think, Iran, easy game. We can just,
What do you think about? And he got in late against England, but some articles and pundits worried about or talked about him possibly starting Gio Reyna. He didn't play at all in the first game, and then he came on late in the second game. What do you think about his lack of play thus far?
Again, the guys on the starting 11, those guys, they're really young, they're energetic, they're passionate, they're hungry, And I'm not trying to say he's not one of those, but at the end of the day, the manager makes the call, and we respect that. The fans can complain all day, like, hey, why didn't you play that guy? Or, if Pulisic was benched today, everybody would have gone crazy. But it's like, why would I bench Pulisic? Like, think about it. It's got to be something going on in there for me to, bench this guy. First of all, if something works the first time, if it's not broken, don't fix it. So I
disagree. If something works the first time, Dare, you might have just got away with it. That doesn't mean you're making the right decisions. You just sat here and told me that the best goalkeeper on England is on the bench for whatever reason.
Yeah, because he hasn't had that chance to play for England. In the club level, he's a top 3 in England right now when it comes to the Premier League.
Right. But with Greg Ballhalter, he might be missing some things. People think Gio Reyna is a star and should possibly be in that mix of young top talent that should be on the court starting the game.
Yeah, but then it's like, who are you going to take out? Because those guys, the guys we played today, everybody played. Like, the passion was there. You could tell those guys are just like, they have to start. Yeah. And I'm glad we have 5 subs. In the past, it used to be 3. So, to a certain degree, everybody has the opportunity to come in and shine, no matter how many minutes you get to play. 10 minutes, 15 minutes, why not? All you need is just that chance, one opportunity to put the ball in there or prevent a goal from, happening against us.
Talk to me about the substitution strategy in the sport of soccer, because again, it's weird. In basketball, you can take somebody out for a minute, give them a break, and put them back in. In soccer, once you come out,
That's it.
that's it.
We love it that way. We don't want you coming back in once you're out. You know.
So
like-
talk to me about the mindset of a coach who's setting up his lineup. When do you look for a sub? What kind of sub are you looking for? Is it defensive, offensive? Walk me through that.
Well, first of all, psychology. There is something called a super sub. There's this guy who comes in like 10 minutes to go, and you know he's going to put in the ball because he's mad he's been sitting on the bench for 80 minutes. You know,
Yeah.
and he wants to prove to you that, hey, listen, why you not starting me?
Does America have one of those?
No.
Okay.
First of all, this team is really young that we don't really know much about them as a team yet.
Fair
On
enough.
the individual level, those guys are killing it for their clubs. But as a team, it's too soon to tell because these guys are young. Like, when we missed out on 2018, it was like we had to rebuild the whole thing. We,
Right.
Break the whole house of cards down and, bring in new talents, recruit everybody. But there's still some guys from then that are still there now, and they're really good, Weston McKinney plays for Juventus, great guy. Pulisic, Chelsea. Yunus Musa, Villarreal. A whole lot of them.
You bring up that super sub. So you do kind of reserve some firepower for the bench because you may need it late in the game.
Absolutely. Some guys may not be good enough to go 90 minutes, but, give them 20 minutes and they will destroy the whole field. 20 minutes. When you come in and then the other defenders are already tired, and they've been running for like 80 minutes, 70 minutes, and you bring this kid in, scares the shit out of them.
I was watching the broadcast earlier and I saw them put some numbers up in the corner like 4-3-2-1. And I guess that refers to a defensive formation.
Formations change all the time during a game. Depends on who the other manager brings in. So if a manager brings in one more offensive, like when Rashford came in, it's like, hey, we got to drop one more person to the back. So now we're losing one person in attack. And then you have to sit back because Rashford comes in, scary kid. I was worried when he came in.
Do you have a defensive formation that you like best?
First of all, depends on the team, but you can never go wrong with 4-4-2.
Okay.
Because 4-4-2, you always have 4 at the back. If you're going to put 3 at the back, it means you want to play more offensive game,
Now, just thinking about that, again, if you got more in the back,
Yeah.
you are stout defensively, but does that make it harder for you to score goals on the other end?
No, because having 4 at the back is pretty balanced. When it's going to be hard for you to score a goal up front is when you have 5 people at the back. That's what they call parking the team bus. Right in front of the goal post. And, when you put 5 people in front of the goal post, then you have the likes of Messi, Ronaldo, because you're scared of them. And they have, the teams that have firepower. There are teams that just play with 3 defense. So you can imagine the remaining are like offensive plays. So it's like, how do you defend against a team that has about 7 offensive players against you? You have to put like 5 defenders back there just to like prevent anything from happening. That's where the possession game comes in because the guys with the offensive team, they always get to keep the ball. You look at the possession, they tell like 60%, 40%, 70-30. It's like you keeping the ball a lot because you're just passing it around. You're waiting for those guys, the defense, to come out to try to get the ball from you. You want to destabilize that formation. But they're very disciplined. Like, that's why soccer, it takes a lot to score a goal.
All right. Let's slow things down a little bit, man. Let me catch my breath. Dare came out, guns blazing. All right. For those of you watching at home, research says if you ask your audience to like a video, they're more inclined to do so. So if you're watching this at home, please hit that subscribe button, hit that like button, and if you're really rocking with it, share this video. I'm sitting here with my brother from graduate school, Mr. Dare Ayoola, big time soccer fan, soccer zealot. Is that too harsh a word?
Yeah.
Maybe. How exciting of a time is this for you? I think of soccer fans in America sort of like boxing fans. Like, it's just that little small niche. There's not many places you can turn to and really enjoy the sport, see the sport, hear people talk about the sport. But now it's the global game. The whole world is tuned in and watching. How exciting a time is this for you?
Exciting, and it's no longer a niche, bro. Like, um,
In America,
in
yeah,
America, no.
come on, man.
No,
What you
no,
talk about? What you talk
no.
about? MLS, we not
Bro.
on board like the rest of the world is.
Well, yeah. When it comes to the
You
quality,
can't turn on
when it-
ESPN and see people talking about your sport any other time than now.
Well, we're changing that, and I don't call it a niche anymore. Maybe 20 years ago, you could say, "Oh, it's a niche." A whole David Beckham came and created his own team in Miami. That tells you a lot.
Okay.
The guys I worked with before, NYCFC, owned by Manchester City and the Yankees, that those people don't put their money in something that they feel like, hey, we're not gonna make money. So it's not a niche. When it comes to numbers, you have to follow the numbers. The MLS, the stadiums are being sold out. Atlanta, the team in Atlanta, the Mercedes, that stadium,
Mercedes-Benz
right?
Stadium with Atlanta
Mercedes Arena,
Falcons
right?
play. They're owned by Arthur Blank, yes.
The soccer team, the soccer games there, the stadium's always sold out.
Get live?
Yeah, absolutely. The stadium's always sold out. The loudest fans in DC, the Seahawks play there too, right?
In Washington, D.C.?
Yeah. In what's the Seattle? I'm sorry, Seattle.
Seattle Seahawks. That's on the West Coast.
Yeah.
In D.C., it's the Redskins.
Not DC. I'm sorry.
Seattle.
The Seattle, yeah. And that's where Russell Wilson. That's his name.
He
Right?
used to be there.
He used to be there. That's the same. That's a team. I'm not really big on football, but
Right.
like that when we sell like the football games and the soccer games, when it comes to the fans coming to the stadium, it's about the same.
Okay.
It's
All right.
about the same.
Portland Timbers is a big team too in MLS.
What's it?
MLS? Portland the Timbers?
Oh yeah, Portland, Oregon. Yeah, absolutely.
Listen though, this is the first time the World Cup is taking place during this time of years. Typically in the summer.
Yeah.
It's now in the fall because Qatar got the bid and it's super hot in the summer. So if you don't want the players to drop that, what's it like watching World Cup during having your Thanksgiving turkey?
I'll get back to that. We're gonna put a pin on that. New York City FC, NYCFC. By the way, our stadium is coming up in Queens by 2026. It should be done just right in time for the U.S. to host the World Cup. By the way, so
Okay.
we're getting a stadium in Queens in New York. All right, so excited. That's gonna be sold out almost every game. By the way, back to your question. Playing in the winter, awful idea. But at the same time, for me, I feel like this is going to be the new normal. Because I understand their unseen circumstances that led to Qatar hosting the World Cup. Allegedly, they bribed their way through. Hey, why not? Jack Warner, again, the worst thing that ever happened to the beautiful game.
Who's Jack Warner, president of FIFA?
No. That was Sepp Blatter back in the days.
Mm-hmm.
But Jack Warner was the president of CONCACAF, which is the so every continent has a football body.
Okay.
There is UEFA, which is Europe. CONCACAF is for the US
Yeah.
and some Latin American countries. There is CONMEBOL for Brazil, South America,
Right.
And then Africa, CAF. This man was the head of CONCACAF, and he had so much power that his vote meant a lot, and his vote was always for sale. He did get $5 million in bribe just to let Russia win the bid for the 2018.
Okay.
It was supposed to be England hosting that, by the way, and Jack Warner. That's why they're trying to extradite him right now from Trinidad and Tobago. He's from Trinidad, by the way.
Oh wow.
He's from Trinidad. This guy voted against his own continent hosting the World Cup in 2022.
Money talk, man. All these people.
But we don't like that.
Yeah.
I know money talks, but at the same time, hosting the World Cup in the winter, it's more like, why should Qatar own that? This is the size, a country the size of Connecticut, by the way. The stadiums are so tight niche, like together, and the stadiums did not exist 10 years ago. some cities did not even exist 10 years ago where the stadium was built. 6,500 migrant workers died building those stadiums. I think it's a shame to every fan, like everybody.
Hold on,
who,
slow down. Ladies and gentlemen, this is what graduate school was like. You got me, you got Dare, you got Kayvon Baker, you got we used to get crazy in these classes, right? I didn't want to go there just yet, but we here now.
You cannot avoid that.
What year did we graduate? 2015. So 2010, Qatar got a bid or won the bid to host the 2022 World Cup.
Yeah.
So many different moving parts had to take place for this to happen. Again, the game is typically in the summer, but it was moved to the winter. Qatar at the time didn't even have legit football stadiums. It was all built over the last 12 years. And during that process, the stories are migrant workers were brought in from Bangladesh and different places, and they were treated like basically slaves, many of them dying. That's the story. So Qatar to even have this thing, there's a lot of rumors and theories of corruption surrounded by it, especially with a country who doesn't have a rich soccer history. And Qatar, when you are the host nation, your team gets to participate. They're 0-2. How does that team even look? Did you watch any of their games?
First of all, I did. I watched the game. It was a disaster, by the way. That was awful.
Why?
The guys I play with in Pier 40, soccer rooftop, pickup games, play better than a lot of their players. And I don't blame them. I mean, come on, bro. Like, you're not built for that. A lot of the players are not even from Qatar.
Are you familiar with any of the players? Do they play big time clubs anywhere in the world?
No, they don't. Most of them play for the local Qatar league, which no disrespect to their team or the local leagues, but it's like going to war against the United States coming with machetes and knives when we got nuclear weapons.
Yeah.
It's just really wrong. But again, Qatar hosting the World Cup. There's a good, the bad, and the ugly, to be honest. I don't like the way they went about it. The whole bribery thing. But again, if the institution is corrupt, you don't have a choice sometimes than to play along. FIFA is corrupt to the bone, so corrupt. So if you're gonna win any favors from them, you have to scratch their back.
Yeah.
Is
it affecting your viewing pleasure at all? This being taking place at this time of year? Because typically you would have your Premier Leagues and different things going on, but that has been on pause and you got the World Cup. Is it affecting your, viewing enjoyment?
Me personally, yes, because, again, I'm an Arsenal fan. We're on top of the league right now. We had that momentum going, winning every game, and then you just brought a World Cup to break that momentum. When we get back on Boxing Day, the 26th of December, we might not have the same momentum.
Yeah.
Again, something's working out. Why fix it? That's what I'm saying about the good, the bad, and the ugly. FIFA, the World Cup, soccer, it's a beautiful game. I feel like, yes, we should do everything possible to be inclusive, and that includes, having other teams, other countries host the World Cup.
But not if they don't have a soccer history, Dare. No, they don't even have stadiums. They shouldn't get it.
Again, first of all, going back to politics, there's something called sports washing, all right?
Sports washing?
Yes.
Okay.
Sports washing. So it's like Russia hosting Sochi back then, spent billions of dollars doing that, and nobody's ever spent that amount of money for winter sports. And right after that, what happened? This awful human being invaded Ukraine with Crimea back then.
Putin.
Yeah, well, I don't want to call his name.
Okay.
It's like the orange
Yeah, they might
man.
take my YouTube channel. Yeah, we don't want.
I don't want to call his name. So yeah, this awful human being invaded Ukraine back then, annexed Crimea. That's sports washing. Back to sports washing. That's pretty much when you sports wash. It's like you want to show the world that this is what we're all about, and using sports as a means to put a blindfold on the rest of the world's face while you're killing people in Iran.
Like propaganda and stuff. Yeah.
It's bigger than propaganda. Like, it's like you guys are just awful people, and you're trying to use this beautiful game to convince us that you're better than
Straight up.
what we're seeing. And I think it's a slap. It's a shame. Like,
Hold on. One last thing on Putin. And when he invaded Ukraine and everybody came out speaking out against him, I'm like, hold on, y'all know he's been a bad guy for over a decade plus. Like, why y'all trying to pretend now that he's this villain, or you surprised by his actions? Like you said, a man like that, a country like that should have never got Sochi and stuff. But I want to move ahead real quick.
We can talk about this all day, by the way, but
Lionel Messi.
Yep.
He got a little LeBron James in him. And I don't mean that in a good way. LeBron James, you may not be aware of this because the media loves to protect LeBron, but he has a reputation of coming up small.
What type of media?
All of them dudes. All of them. ESPN, Fox Sports. If a teammate does good, they give LeBron credit. If he doesn't, they blame the guy. You know what I'm saying? When they win, it's LeBron's. The cause of it, when they lose, is somebody else's fault. But LeBron has a reputation of coming up small in big moments. When he was in Cleveland, he struggled against the Celtics. Yeah. When he first got to the Heat, they were supposed to run through the league. He ended up losing to the Dallas Mavericks. I feel Lionel Messi kind of got that history also on the international stage.
International level,
he come up a little short. And just the other day, Argentina lost to who?
Saudi Arabia. They had a national holiday the next day. That's how big that was for them. They don't care. They don't mind being knocked out of the World Cup tomorrow.
How bad of a loss was that for Messi and Argentina?
That was a shame, bro. Like, Saudi Arabia, no disrespect to them. That's another farmers league. Like, like they're not even close. They're not top 100, and for you to, like, beat the number.
How did it happen?
Again, a lot of terrible calls in that game. I'll tell you that. Some of the goals should have never been ruled out. But I think technology these days is doing more harm than good for the game, because now with VAR and the new system of VAR, it's like the margin of error is so close that your fingertip can be offside, and
Dare, Lionel Messi is supposed to be one of the best players in the world.
Well, first of all, the man is not any younger. When you run that much for over how many years now? It's been in the game for like 20 years now, almost. When you're running up and down, you're not gonna be at the top. But in the past, he should have done better, no doubt. But
he has failed in the international level.
Again, the team around him. I know basketball is a team sport as well, but it's not as. You guys are what, 5-on-5, yeah?
Yes, sir.
Well, with soccer, it's more piece to the game than basketball. So it's like if two players on my team don't do well, it's hard for me, the superstar, to do well. I don't see Ronaldo lifting the World Cup either, and he's top 2 in the world. So I think everybody go hard on Messi. Like, I love that kid, like, he's humble. Like, he's the greatest, man.
He must have played for Arsenal. Nah, I'm messing with you. But listen.
We don't stand a chance, but it's okay.
Has he ever played for Arsenal?
Nah.
Okay.
Ronaldo, on the other hand.
Hold on. Does Messi have a history of coming up short?
International for his country? Yeah. Absolutely. Yes, he does. He does. I feel like
Messi's the LeBron James of soccer.
I feel like Messi puts Barcelona, when he was at Barcelona, dominating, like killing the entire world of soccer. Like, nobody wanted to play against him. You end up being a victim. This is like Jeffrey Dahmer on the field. Like, Messi back then, you do not want to go up against him. But the same energy don't come in when it comes to Argentina. And I think that has to do with who he is as a person. We might see Messi, the soccer player, but on a personal level, it's just a quiet, reserved guy. Like, he doesn't want to be the center of attraction, Unlike Ronaldo, it's like when he comes in the room, like, yeah.
But when the lights shine, Ronaldo performs. That much I know about soccer.
Messi performs too.
Much I know about
Messi
soccer.
Messi performs too. You have to. Ronaldo is an athlete. Messi is a soccer player. In other words, Ronaldo has to be in the gym trying to get all those workout going, which is an advantage, by the way. Running, all that stuff. Messi is just natural. Messi's not built like Ronaldo. He's 5'6", first of all. Low center of gravity. That's why he can embarrass everybody on the field, you know? But I feel Messi definitely comes up short, but you cannot put the blame on him.
Who?
You have to put the blame on the entire team because those guys all play for top leagues in Europe.
Fair enough, Dari. Fair
All
enough.
right.
Fair enough. Who has had the most impressive showing thus far? Team.
Team?
Yes, sir.
Japan.
Is that a surprise?
Absolutely. Well, not a surprise, but the team they did beat is a surprise for me, though. Germany.
Wow.
Top 3 seed in the world. Like, you beat Germany. And that game made me so happy. I don't know. I saw France play Australia. That's expected. You got Mbappe. You got Giroud. You got Dembele. All the superstars. They're trying to defend the title because they won the last World
sure.
Cup. But the opponents they were playing, it was expected. You should beat them. Tunisia held, was it Croatia? I don't remember. Or Denmark, I think. They played them. They held them. Those are teams that are like, they really impressed me. But Japan.
So Japan and Denmark.
No, not Denmark. Tunisia.
Tunisia, yes.
Yeah. Like, but Japan, definitely. Nobody expected them to win that game. Those guys are like, the tallest guy on that field is like 5'7". No disrespect. It's
Right,
just
no,
about the game
Yeah.
and how you have a height advantage.
Yes.
In defense, you can clear aerial balls and, you know, like the balls coming in, you have a better chance of scoring because the other defenders and the defenders are not as tall as you.
Okay.
But those guys, man, they defied expectation.
I'm going to ask you for a list of the top 5 players in the World Cup. I just want names, Dare. Number 1 being the best, right? So I want you to start with number 5. Top 5 players playing in the World Cup right now, starting with number 5. I just want names.
So we're based on what we've seen or just based on who the players are in general? Like
In general, your personal ranking.
That's not gonna be accurate. Because based on what we're seeing right now, I feel like number 5. You said number 5, number 5. Wow, number 5. Who would that be? Let me look at the teams first.
Because I'm trying to get a picture. Because I know, again, the names Ronaldo and Messi, but I know
they're not in the top 5.
Exactly, and that's why I want to know. Because I know they're getting
older.
older.
End of an era, by the way.
I understand, and that's why I want to learn. I love watching soccer, and this happened the other day when it was USA versus Wales. They're talking about this guy, Gareth Bale.
End of an era.
And he looked like just a regular white guy to me. But you go to his Instagram, it's 40 million people. They talk about all the money he done made.
Past
That's
glory.
what I'm saying. So I want to know
Plays
who's
in the MLS right now, by the way. LA FC.
and that is a sign of them getting older. Once they make big money overseas and they come to MLS.
I disagree with that.
I don't want to get you sidetracked. 5 players, Dari.
I disagree with that, by the way. 5 players. Number 5. If you don't mind, I need to look at the table.
Go for it.
First,
We could edit. Go for
I
it.
know who my number 1 is, by the way, but just, the 5. Number 5. Wow. I should start from number 1.
Mbappe got to be on the list.
Absolutely.
Who else do I know? Mbappe. Neymar just got hurt.
Neymar is not in my top 5 either.
He's out.
He's out injured for the rest of the group stage. He has a glass ankle. Like, you cannot touch him. He's done.
He got a glass ankle. Yo, the man got injured, dog. Stop it.
Bro, come on, man.
I started looking for players that I know. Paul Pogba's not even in the World Cup. He's out because of injury.
Karim Benzema, injured.
Get my 5 players, please, sir.
Okay. Wow, this is a shame, by the way. Number 5.
Why is it a shame?
Because the guys I expect to be in it are not. They're not showing up. They're not turning up at all. It seems like a lot of those guys put in so much work for the club football, and when it comes to the national team, they're not. I cannot. The guys from Japan, it's really hard to like say their names. I don't know their names,
Right.
but those guys definitely.
They got one over there?
Yeah, definitely. You see what? My number 5, United States goalkeeper,
Really?
Absolutely.
Really?
Based on what you did today. Based on what you did today.
And that's shocking because when we go back to the Wales game,
if you ask me this question like after the World Cup, then obviously the names will change.
Yes, sir.
But so far, from what we've seen today, from what we've seen so far
Yes, sir.
with the 2 games played now
In the group stage,
in
yes.
the group stage. Turner definitely my
Who's
number
that?
5. It's the American.
Okay,
goalie.
the American
Is
goalkeeper.
Arsenal's number 2.
Okay. Who else?
Number 1 is on the bench for England.
Yes.
Yeah, Ramsdale. Number 4, Starboy, Bukayo Saka, number 17 for England.
Okay.
Number 3, Olivier Giroud, France.
Mm-hmm.
And my number 2, who can I put for number 2, man? Let me see. Who's worth being on the list? Nobody. Mexico, Argentina, nobody. France, Tunisia, Denmark. Ooh. Okay. Spain. They have a midfielder, Marco Asensio.
Okay.
He scored 2 goals the other day against Costa Rica.
Wow.
Yeah, they annihilated them. Like it was men against boys. And then number 1, Mbappe. Number 1, Mbappe.
Kylian
All
Mbappe.
day, I don't care. Even if he doesn't score a goal, that for me right there, it means a lot for me to see the next Ronaldo or Messi being a black kid, immigrant parents from Cameroon playing for France.
Talk to me about his gameplay. What makes him special? Because again, to me, I just see 11 people running up and down the field.
Mbappe, first of all, like everything he touches, man, turns into gold. It's like you have to give him the ball all the time. He's a very strong guy, and he's only 21 years old now. Single-handedly won that World Cup for them in 2018.
You just told me it was a team sport.
It is a team sports, but then if you have one guy who's supposed to put the ball in the net and is not doing it, the rest of the team could be playing well. That one guy could be the problem. But Mbappe, it's just the whole team was playing well and he was delivering. You can run 90 minutes and give this one person the ball to go score. If he doesn't score, your 90 minutes effort don't mean nothing. So for me, Kylian Mbappe, number 1, man. And I think he's going to be the next kid up there. There's some guys that did not even make the World Cup, their country. There's this kid at Manchester City, Haaland. Ooh, he's a beast.
What
bro.
country would he represent?
Norway.
Okay.
Ooh, Haaland is a beast, bro. Like that's like, I don't know. Let me see. That's like putting Ronaldo and Messi scoring ability into one person. The kid is really good, and I think he's gonna give Mbappe a run for his money for the next generation.
Say that name again.
Haaland.
Okay.
So,
Okay. There's a few great players who didn't make the World Cup. Mohamed Salah.
Absolutely. Egypt. But again, it's like basketball, right? It's a lot of great guys who never won the championship.
Yeah.
And they won Olympic gold medal for the U.S. So
There's some big time countries who are not in this World Cup. Italy, Colombia, Egypt, your native land, the Super
Nigeria.
Eagles, Nigeria. For the record, I did a project in grad school about the Super Eagles because of my boy. He was the motivation. They was like, yo, well, you got to pick an international team. I said, yo, my man Dare right there, y'all got the Super Eagles, man. He going to be able to tell me if I'm doing the right thing or not.
why we did not make it?
Yes,
First
sir.
of all, the 2 continents that the hardest to qualify for the World Cup.
Which, Africa and where?
Actually, 3. Europe, Africa, and South America. Because everybody's good, especially Europe. That's why the next World Cup, I think there's going to be more teams. Like they're going to expand it.
Right now, it's only 32. I think they're going to expand it.
They have to. It's absolutely. We've been using that for a very long time.
You don't have to. It's just an exclusive club, the best of the best. This is the world's biggest championship. You don't have to, but I understand.
If we had 10 more teams or 12 more teams, that's still an exclusive club because you know how many countries are in the world. The most popular sports in the world.
Yes, sir.
You can go in the desert and the people playing soccer with a stone.
Yeah.
You know? So that, for me, I feel like we do have to expand it. Like, it's not enough. There's so many good teams in Europe not participating. Africa, South America, like that needs to change. We need to open up more spaces for them. You know, in Europe is too huge as well for a country. Like everywhere in Europe, there is soccer everywhere in Europe. In Africa, not really. Like if you look at a place like South Africa, they do have soccer, but it's not as big as the rugby team.
Okay.
The rugby team, they neck with like tie with New Zealand and England. Like, you know, like New Zealand is number one when it comes to rugby. So they're like shoulder to shoulder with the South African team. Places like India, they're not big on soccer. So if they don't make it, nobody's going to feel bad. Qatar is never going to be at the World Cup. They only got in it through affirmative action.
they the host. They the host team.
You know.
They the host team.
So, you know, you always get that shot because you're hosting it. You know, it's good for team.
You know what I realized, though? A lot of these good teams have nicknames. We mentioned the Nigerian national team is the Super Eagles. That's hard. Mexico, El Tre.
I honestly don't know their names.
America don't have one.
Are you sure?
The Yankees?
I doubt it, but I'm pretty sure we have one.
Nah, I checked it today in preparation for this podcast. Come on, no. They don't have a nickname.
We need to change that. 2026, we're hosting that World Cup with Mexico and Canada.
Yeah.
We need to change that.
We need to change that. Listen, Ronaldo is playing for Portugal right now.
Yeah.
But there's been some issues with his club team.
He doesn't have a club anymore, by the way, as of yesterday, 2 days ago. But I understand. Keep going.
I'm looking on YouTube. I see him doing a sit-down interview with, I think, it's Piers Morgan. I never seen him in that setting.
Piers Morgan. He's an Arsenal fan, by the way, unfortunately.
And Dara, it looked like an R. Kelly, CBS sit-down. So I knew there was trouble just by the lighting. And I guess he said he feels betrayed by Man U. He feel like they tried to push him out. They talk about the hardest thing in sports is to manage the aging superstar. What's the story there? Because what I'm reading is he didn't want to come off the bench, and I guess they believe he wasn't supporting the team, and he feels he's being betrayed by the team. What's the story?
Ronaldo, great player. New manager comes into Manchester United. First of all, the great Sir Alex Ferguson.
Former manager of Man U.
Former Manchester United manager.
And this is Ronaldo's second stint with Man U.
Since 1986. Yes, since 1986. Retired in maybe 2013, 14. I don't remember. But he was pretty much there for like 27, 28 years, 29 years. The most successful manager in the history of the game, by the way. And it pains me to say that because I don't like that team. I don't like that man, by the way, as a manager. But I like him as a person. Sir Alex Ferguson. When he left Manchester United, it's really hard. It's like Belichick, right?
Yeah.
Leaving the Patriots, the next guy coming in, it's going to be hard to fill in that shoe.
You never want to follow the guy, yeah.
Exactly. Every manager who's coming after Sir Alex Ferguson, the fans are already used to that success. They expect you to just jump back in.
Right.
So now, right after Sir Alex Ferguson, they've had, I think, 5 managers. David Moyes, the guy coaching the Netherlands right now, too, and maybe 5 managers. I know the names. I'm not going to get there. So it's like every season, it's like, we almost got there, but we didn't get there. So now they brought this new manager from the Netherlands, Ten Hag, successful manager in the Netherlands with Ajax, and my man comes in, and again, I always look at it this way, like when you get in prison. I've never been to jail before, but when you get in there, it's like you want to show that, hey, I'm the big dog, so you go for the biggest guy and punch him in the face.
Yo,
that's the
analogy.
way. That's the way it is.
So that's the way the manager treated Ronaldo?
Every big team most big teams have that. Arsenal had that problem with a player called Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang. I love Aubameyang. Like, he's Africans. Arsenal captain before, but we had to get rid of him because the ego was too much. We're paying this man £300,000 a week. Ronaldo right now, Manchester United, I think, was getting £500,000 a week. No one man should have all that power. And if we're giving you that much money and you cannot run 20 yards and the younger players, Ronaldo doesn't run anymore.
Okay.
You cannot play soccer. It's still important, by the way. You put him in the post, there's a danger man. Like, it will take that opportunity, that one chance, score a goal. But that's not everything with soccer. Ronaldo is not the same Ronaldo 5-10 years ago.
So he's past his prime and the manager benched him.
The manager benched him because the younger players, hungry, talented, like faster, better. You know, experience. Yeah, Ronaldo has experience. I will bring again coming to why you bench some players. I'll bring in Ronaldo the last 20 minutes, try to get the troops together, talk to the kids on the field like, hey, you're doing something stupid. You know.
But hold on,
Focus.
is there anything the manager could have done to kind of smooth this situation over instead of just, I guess, disrespecting and embarrassing Ronaldo?
He did not disrespect or embarrass him, by the way. And the answer to your question is no. Ronaldo, big ego, and for a reason. It's like if you're a boxer, for example, it comes with the ego. You need to have that to be successful.
Right.
So Ronaldo walks the walk, talk the talk. Like absolutely, Ronaldo, the ego comes with it. You already know that. When you have a player like that on your team, absolutely, that comes with it. You need to learn how to manage him. But I feel like the manager wanted him out of the team, but it's like they didn't know the way to go about it.
So he's gone now. He's no longer with Man U.
They tore that contract up, man.
So what do you think happens next? It's time to come to the States.
No.
It's time to do what David Beckham did.
No.
Come to the States, become
No.
a megastar.
No.
Not yet?
Ronaldo's going to play till he's like 41. Like Zlatan. There's a player called Zlatan.
Zlatan came to the MLS and played with LA Galaxy. That's how I know that name. And he was funny as hell in the interviews.
No, Zlatan is a clown, but he's one of the greatest, though. But he never got the recognition as much as Ronaldo and Messi because there was no consistency in terms of clubs.
So hold on. Zlatan came to America and then went back overseas.
LA Galaxy, yes, and then went back to AC Milan in Italy. And he's at AC Milan right now. Again, some leagues, you don't do a lot of running.
Okay.
You understand? The Premier League, that's why it's the best league in the world. It's very aggressive. It's fast, you know. The Italian league, very slow. So Zlatan don't even have to run that much. Just stay in the box, give him the ball, bam. He doesn't have to do 120 yards up and down, 90 yards up and down, which if you're in the Premier League, everybody needs to defend, including the offensive player. So Ronaldo doesn't want to do that. Even when he was younger, he doesn't do that. It's like, I'm Ronaldo. I'm not going to go defend. I'm here to score goals, and that's what I'm going to do.
Wow.
But you don't get to decide that. The manager decides, this is my game plan, and you have to do it. Now, if you cannot do that.
So what do you – Premier League is the best league in the world?
Absolutely.
Okay, so we got
No doubt.
we got an aging superstar, Ronaldo,
Yeah.
who's having a hard time coming off the bench and different things. So he parted ways with Man U.
Yeah.
What do you think is next for him?
Ooh. First of all, I don't see any top 10 in Europe taking Ronaldo right now, except any manager wants that problem because that's a big ego on your team. A lot of people are saying, hey, Arsenal should take him up for 6 months. I would never want Ronaldo on my team. I love him, but we don't need any big ego in the dressing room. Psychology plays a lot, means a lot when it comes to winning in soccer and every other team. If you have a guy like Ronaldo in the dressing room, it's one of the reasons why Manchester United wasn't really doing well. Even though the players were great, they're good players, but with Ronaldo not being happy, it's like that elephant in the room.
Yeah, it can mess with the morale of a team.
Exactly. So it was like, Ronaldo leaving right now? I'm terrified of Manchester United right now.
Wow.
Because now they're going to come out like freedom. Like, we can go out there now and be happy and play for the manager and see the manager's vision. Just like Arsenal, and we have a young manager right now. He's like 36 years old. Mikel Arteta. He used to be our captain back in the days. When he first came in, we had a lot of deadbeats in the team. Systematically, he got rid of all of them. Ozil from Germany.
Coach is a big deal in sport.
Absolutely.
Coach
you cannot teach a player how to play. They already have that talent.
Yes.
You're not going to teach LeBron James how to shoot.
Right.
Well, or Steph Curry how to shoot 3 points. Like, not. But the coach has to make sure the unit gels together. Talents from different parts of the world. Some guys cannot even speak English.
Yeah.
You have to make sure everybody, it's like a musical piece, man. Everything needs to synchronize. And Ronaldo's a missing piece. Like, you cannot have someone like Ronaldo and have a perfect pitch.
That's great. You're right. I like that analogy, man. You're talking about leadership. It's not really about teaching these kids different skills. They got that already. It's about setting the tone, setting the culture,
Absolutely.
and getting these men to gel. I had one of my former professors on, Dr. Adam Sayers, and I was asking him about some of his favorite leaders and captains in sport, and he mentioned Roy Keane. Who is your favorite captain ever in the sport of soccer. Somebody that exuded leadership, that got his team ready and prepared to play each and every time they walked on the field. One captain.
Damn, that's an unfair question, by the way.
Nah,
Just-
you can't have choices.
one.
Nah, bro.
Damn.
Nah, bro.
Woo. Wow. Damn. I have names, man.
Nah,
but,
just one.
I'm gonna pick one. Okay. All right. Oh, I would say Tony Adams from Arsenal, from back in the days. Arsene Wenger.
Tony Adams,
Yes, English player
English player who played for Arsenal.
and played for England.
What time frame we talking about? What year?
See,
90s?
I was younger, but when I started following Arsenal, this was like 1996. I'm not that young, by the way, but when I started following Arsenal in 1996, Tony Adams was our captain. And
What'd you like about his style?
It's just professional, man. Like, you see a lot of the young kids doing dumb stuff on the field, and comes to you as a father on the field.
He would check his teammates on the field?
Check you. Like, there was so many captains like that, by the way.
I never really seen that in soccer. Again, I don't watch that much.
Again, now captains are being decided by, I want to keep this guy happy. We don't want him to leave.
Yeah.
Back in the days, it was more like, like Ted Lasso. You know Ted Lasso? Like
Isn't that like a sitcom character?
It's a sitcom, but on Apple TV, like the captain. The captain in Ted Lasso was based on Roy Keane's character, by the way.
Yeah, I did hear
It
that.
was like an asshole. Like, Roy Keane is an asshole. But you kind of like need that to be a successful captain. Sometimes like the team has to be scared of you. Like, holy shit, we're playing Manchester City today. Like, I better not mess up, because if Roy Keane tells the manager that kid needs to be on the bench, and he's not going to tell you behind you, he's going to tell you in front of the manager, nah, Irish kid, like, this man's got to be on the bench. Straight up, like, there's nothing you can do about it. Like, you're being stupid. Like, you got to use your head, you know? Like, what are you doing holding the ball like that? Like, you have to, like, give your teammate the ball. Don't hog the ball.
Gotcha.
The likes of Roy Keane and Ronaldo cannot coexist. The Ronaldo of now. Roy Keane was Ronaldo's captain back in the days. His first spell at Manchester United. But that was like the young, humble Ronaldo. Right now, I think he got too big for himself,
Gotcha. So what's that name? Roy Adams.
No. Tony Adams from Arsenal. Roy Keane, Manchester United. They were enemies, by the way.
Tony Adams. That is.
But you got to give me the opportunity to mention all the captains.
No, you don't get all the captains. You get one, son. This is how this works. You get one. Tony Adams.
Man.
Tony Adams.
Okay, all right. I'll stick with that. I'll take that.
Grad school. I used to love watching you come and you had your little Arsenal gear. Let's talk about some of the. Go ahead.
By the way, I was in Florida in July. We played Chelsea. I went to Florida, saw Arsenal play in Orlando.
Very cool.
Recently, yeah, absolutely.
Is that your first time seeing them in the States?
Hell no.
Of course not. The best kits, 2000 World Cup 2022. Who got the best kits? For those of you who don't know soccer lingo, that's the uniform, the jersey. I got a few in my closet.
I cannot wait, bro. Like, pains me to say this, but Mexico.
Yes.
Damn. I just love that. The pattern, it's Adidas, it's like green, it's fitted. The evolution of the soccer kit, it's gone a long way from back in the days when they looked like basketball jerseys.
Yeah.
Right now it's a fashion statement. They're selling millions right now.
Big time.
Just, soccer jerseys. It's a huge part of soccer right now. If
Japan too.
Ronaldo's jerseys don't fit, he's not coming in to play. He has to look all
I gotta
pretty.
look fly. Yeah, I gotta look fly to play. Mexico, I got Mexico on my list right here. Mexico, the green, the white, the red. They got the little pattern in the jersey.
Yeah.
Japan also.
Nah.
The white one, the white jersey.
I haven't seen the white.
Okay, they got the white one where they got some little like
I'm
some
going,
stars in it.
I'm going based on what we've seen so far. I know I can go see it, but I don't want to. I don't want spoiler alerts, man. I like the elements of surprise, so
to watch in real time. Okay,
exactly. So based on what I've seen, Mexico number one.
Yeah.
United States, the away jersey, what we played in today, fire. I cannot wait. I'm getting that too.
I mean, it was cool.
Oh damn!
But how about the
cool
white
stuff
American
there.
jersey? What grade do you give that?
Nah.
I'm gonna give it an F. I'm gonna tell you why. Cause
Absolutely. I'm not with it.
I don't like the collar. Right? Like I need a thick collar. The jersey they wearing now is just like the t-shirt. And it's like there's no seam or anything. I don't like that.
I gotta tell you now. I know I have history with Nike, and I still love Nike. That Nike is my family. No relations. I don't work there anymore. I was just but all day I'll still work at Nike. I love Nike, but when it comes to jerseys right now, I think Adidas and Puma is winning.
3 stripes and Puma.
Nike, I don't know, man. The design department needs to be fired or something. I'm sorry to say, but they need new designs. I think they need newer, younger faces in there. I feel like the guys who have been there for a very long time probably still calling the shot when it comes to design. Like, it's just terrible this season, even at the club level.
Yeah.
I don't know. The numbers, I don't know how they're doing in the market, but Adidas, Puma, I when it comes
traditionally
to soccer,
though, Adidas has dominated the sport of soccer.
I mean, it's European.
Yeah.
It's corrupt. It's European.
Yeah.
When it comes to FIFA, Adidas is the early founders of corruption in FIFA, by the way. But Adidas definitely. Puma and Adidas. I think they're brothers, by the way. The two, the owners and stuff. But Adidas definitely number one. Adidas jerseys. Whew, they fire. And when you're a soccer fan, it's like you don't wear. I would never put on a Tottenham jersey because that's like our rival in London and Arsenal. But sometimes when the jersey is so fire, you totally forget about the rivalry, and you just want to cop there. But not Tottenham. I would never wear. You never catch me dead wearing that.
You brought up Nike. That's on my list. Again, going back to grad school, like we all coming from different walks of life. I'm driving limos at night. Kayvon and them is working as teachers. Dare's coming in from Nike Town. You worked at OG Nike Town, not this new Soho, not this 57th Street.
Yeah. Yeah.
What was that like? It looked like fun just running up and down, different sneakers, different people. What was that like?
Nike as a company, beautiful. I felt like the when it comes to Nike Town, like that particular location, the management could, be a little bit different to like bring to life what Nike actually stands for. Sometimes it wasn't the issue at all. I felt like a lot of guys at Nike Town got promoted based on the wrong things. And when you promote people based on that, you're missing out on great talents. Me as a person, I applied to Nike's corporate, the internship twice.
Yeah.
And I never got in, no doubt. I know other people got in. That I felt like I definitely was way more qualified than. But again, in life, you win some, you lose some. It's nothing personal.
I feel like Nike would have had the whole World Cup display going on right now. You ever met any soccer players in it?
We call it the initiative. We call it the Nike initiative. Right? I think the last one we had was when did we leave 57th? I think 2017. So I think the last initiative that happened was the last World Cup actually. No, 2018. Yeah, the last World Cup hosted in Russia. I have a story about that, by the way. I was on the first floor in Nike Town doing the soccer initiative for the World Cup. And this big guy comes in, and myself and my coworker, Christian, we approached him and tried to help him out. And we both looked at him and were like, yo, is that? So we approached him and were like, yo, anyone ever tell you look like Suge Knight? And it was like, yeah, my mama.
Oh,
we met, you don't want to talk. Yeah, absolutely. Back then, yeah, absolutely. And he came to buy some the basketball socks, the long ones. I forgot what they called them. I forgot what they called them back then. And I met R. Kelly there.
Oh man,
I'm telling you,
you met some criminals, young Dare.
I helped R. Kelly, and you know what? Funny story.
R. Kelly don't let strangers talk to him.
No. You know what? Listen, just give me like 2 minutes to say this. By the way, totally off topic. Okay, Kels came And growing up in Nigeria, a lot of us, even over here, you grew up on R. Kelly's music.
Yeah.
So me helping R. Kelly it was a honor for me, and I told him that.
Yeah.
I was like, "Yo, Kel's big fan, bro. I'm honored to help you. Got him the shoes and everything." I was like, "Yo, I appreciate that, bro, and everything." Okay, that being said, I went downstairs. I saw Kel's and some guys he came with, and what were they doing? They were getting numbers from girls, including some of my co-workers at Nike then. And I was like, getting your number? R. Kelly, like, what's good? R. Kelly's want your number.
Yeah.
Again, the whole issue with surviving Kells wasn't out then.
Mm-hmm.
But when I told people, this is the same way I told people the story, I was like, this was what Kells did then. And, I was surprised, like, what's going on? Why is Kells getting their numbers and his guys are getting numbers as well? And when the story came out with surviving R. Kelly, it was the same MO.
Yeah.
I don't know what happened with those women, but seeing what I saw at Nike Town, and based on what those women said, it was the same. It was a carbon copy of the MO. So for me, it was like, damn. I love the music, the craft of the man, but the person, absolutely not.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Grad school is what, 60 credits?
I do not remember.
I feel
it's a long time ago. Oh, yeah. 60 credits. Yeah.
I feel like 48 of them were like the same class. We had the same professor.
57 of them were the same.
Yo, no, that's not even exaggeration. At that time, this is Brooklyn College's sports management program. We had like one professor for like 7 to 8 classes.
Respectfully, Marvon. Come on, man. I love Marvon. Yeah, Marvon. It might not be perfect, but I learned a lot from.
I loved being with Malvone. It was like psychology of sport, sociology of sport, sport marketing. Like the things started to overlap. All of us just like in the same class, semester after semester.
It was a joke, pretty much. I felt like the department was just being greedy, first of all.
Yeah.
The guy who was the head of the department back then, so rest in peace, passed away a few months ago.
Who?
Professor Dunbar.
Oh, okay.
I don't really think they believed in that program, and because of that, they kind of like starved it with the resources. I felt like we could do better. Honestly speaking, we were doing better than the kids. We were learning more than the kids in Columbia.
Yeah.
They had the name, but for us, it felt like there was so many, everybody in that class.
Columbia, the Ivy League school up
yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
That program, that sports marketing and sports management program, like we definitely way better than a lot of those kids. And you know how I know? I have been to events with those kids, and a lot of them, once they open their mouth to talk, you wish they had just kept quiet. Honestly speaking, and it's like.
But speaking of events, we used to always kind of joke because our professor would talk about his personal event.
I know where you're going with this. All right.
You remember the name of it?
The Dream Bowl.
The Dream Bowl.
Yeah.
He put together an all-star game for college football players from lower level programs.
Yeah, Myrtle Beach in Virginia.
Virginia. It was at Virginia Beach. Yeah,
Virginia,
so you think of like Division III football players, Division II football players. He would put together kind of like an all-star game to help them get drafted and stuff. It's a great event. We used to just make fun because he would always find a way to bring his event in as an example. We used to always make fun. But I bring that up because the last time I saw you, May 1st.
Yeah.
My City Alumni Classic. Mm-hmm. Little event I put together, kind of trying to mirror a lot of what he did, a lot of what we were taught. My brother Dare, I told him I needed him in the building. He popped out. What'd you think?
Your event was fantastic, by the way. Outside Brooklyn College basketball games, I haven't really been to any basketball events, and that for me was like really organized. Like you guys did great. Like that's 10 out of 10, by the way. But my question for you and Marvon and everybody else who does that, I feel like you can have all the great talents out there playing, but if the right people are not on the bench to watch them play, for me, it's always like it doesn't incentivize them to come back.
Yo, dog, that's why I called you in there. How do we go to the next level?
No. I'm talking about in terms of like scouts and other things,
Oh, no, these people are past their prime. This is just like...
Oh yeah, I know. When I saw them,
Yeah.
when I saw that, I recognized basketball from Brooklyn College, and I was like, "Oh, these kids are not." I didn't know those were the guys you were showcasing. By the way, I thought they were just like regular kids from high school.
Nah, the goal here is it's going to be a family fun event. How do we get the money around it? How do we get the sponsors? How do we get the politicians involved so we can get resources for our people? That's why I went and got you master's degree in sports management from Brooklyn College. I needed you to see it. What's next, Dari?
What's next? My brother, you got to go into politics. Because you don't have to be running for office and stuff, but you need to be involved in politics to get the big names and to get like the funding and everything, the money, to get the recognition.
So let's go do it.
To get the mayor's attention, to get, but you got to start from somewhere, and I think that was a great place to start.
So let's go. You with me? I had my suit. I was looking political. What's good? I had my bow tie. What's up?
First of all, I love the whole sports management thing, by the way, and I'm gonna come clean. It was fun for me. I didn't really believe in it for a while. Like after the first semester, I was going to drop out and do something else.
Yo, hold on, real quick. I was making fun of Dari because he was reading a GMAT book. I said, "You the only person in grad school preparing for grad school, like some other grad school." Like, yo, bro, we here already. Why are you reading the GMAT? We already here.
Listen,
you was thinking about some other stuff, law school, different things.
No, not law school.
MBA.
Yeah, absolutely. But my point being, I didn't really believe in that program. I wanted to try, see, I have a passion for the sports, and me being out there doing some of the works outside the master's program, I realized a lot of the people in charge do not even hone that degree. They don't have that degree. They don't have a passion for it.
Nope.
They don't even know the sports.
Right.
But politics, bro, a whole lot of folks, I'm not going to mention names because obviously, but a whole lot of the people out there, they don't know much about that. They do know about business.
That's why us, the good guys, got to take over.
Absolutely. But with me studying for the GMAT and all that, I was definitely trying to switch programs to an MBA program. And Marvon did convince me to, stay on. I'm a numbers guy. I looked at the numbers. I checked how much this is going to cost me at the end. I'm like, okay, it's not that bad. I can rock with that. When I was done, one thing, it took a while to get that to get a job, like especially when you're coming from an unknown program like that, and it wasn't easy, I'll tell you that. But you have to keep struggling and keep trying. And when I finally got something, one thing the pandemic made us realize was that industry does not provide a safety net.
No, sir.
And that was a wake up call for me and a lot of other people that maybe they're smart. And when I saw that, I started looking into other things, and right now I'm into, I'm in IT, trying to like get certified with cloud computing, with AWS and cybersecurity and all that stuff, because those are the jobs that do create a safety net when it comes, like in medicine, like medicine and all that. But sports, am I done with sports? Absolutely not. I'm just going to go out there, get the job with the other thing, make the money. With IT, you can actually still work with sports.
Yes, sir.
IT, I can work on Nike. I can do so many other things with that too in the sports industry.
For sure.
And that's how you break in. So if there is any advice I have to give the younger kids, it would be that, think twice,
You see, when I was in grad school, I was like, oh, I worked with the Rangers. Oh, I work with the Yankees. I don't give a F about any of that because, again, that industry, they'll give you the axe when they're ready. That's why my city is about us.
Everybody's replaceable over there when it comes to that.
That's why I rock with you, son. The white man ain't giving us nothing, bro. We got to build our own. That's why. But all jokes aside, like Dari, I wanted you in there to see that, and we could take it to the next level. It would be a joy if I could just sit back and build this business with the same people I studied with, son. So keep that in mind. I appreciate you coming out. It was a long time since I seen you. A lot has changed. You somebody's daddy now.
Absolutely.
I still can't believe it.
My daughter is 8 months today. She is the most beautiful thing out there, man. She's with her mom right now. She's home with mommy, and she cannot wait to see me later today.
How you know that? But I'm sure. But listen though, Dari.
I take my daughter everywhere, by the way. I'm like the modern day black dad, you know, like
Mm-hmm.
I'm the super progressive dad, you know. I don't care. I take my daughter everywhere. Where I'm like, may so rest in peace, Kobe and Gigi, right? What's her
Yes.
name?
Yeah.
Absolutely. We go everywhere together. I, bought her an Arsenal jersey
Oh
already. At
gosh.
the age of 2, she's gonna start playing soccer, and she's gonna play for the United States national team in the future.
Let me ask you this. All seriousness. Like we was always motivated dudes. Like we knew that the system is not gonna be friendly to us. And we had to go out there and get it on our own. So I don't want you to give me the traditional, oh, I'm more motivated now. Like in all seriousness, how did fatherhood change you?
Well, first of all, that it humbles you. I did not grow up with my father, and I try to be that father I never had, and that comes with a lot of pressure as well. Comes with a huge pressure because you're trying to be this thing that you never saw growing up. But
Straight up. That's real. That's deep.
but like I don't think a role model has to be somebody that you know in person. You just picture somebody that you read about, you see on TV, that you know about, that you feel like we both share similar philosophy, and just think about what would this person do in this situation. And for me, it's always like Barack Obama with his daughters. Like that's a great example of a father. Just and that's the most of the things that we see and know about Barack and Michelle. It's just seeing on TV. But when you go back and do your research into their lives, coming way back from Chicago, it's like, wow, this is the real deal. And very similar stories. His pops wasn't there too, so
Right.
you always, especially if you have a daughter, you have to have a father around. Like that's the most important thing. And I'm glad. I mean, me and my girl, we're good. That's my fiance. So we definitely, there is no child custody or anything,
Right.
which I feel like a lot of minority communities are going through. The family court, it's like it's
Yeah.
designed to just break you apart as a colored man.
Right.
And I always tell people, I know people in situations whereby, the baby daddy and the girl, they're still in family court trying to like drag things out. And I like, no matter what you do, try to keep your child out of that system.
Yeah.
Don't let your child be in that. The two of you, both of you, just come up with some agreement. You don't have to like everything, but just for the sake of the child, especially being a daughter.
Yeah. You mentioned that you want her to play for the USA soccer team. How important is it for you to expose her to Nigerian culture?
Very important. That's why I gave her a Nigerian name. To me, Tokwe. It means, how is this worthy of praise? That's me and the mother. How is this worthy of praise? Because this is a blessing.
How?
Ours?
Ours.
Yeah, ours is worthy of praise
Okay.
because, it's me and the mother. So that's a name. It's a very powerful name. Middle name is Boma because Nigeria, different cultures. I'm Yoruba. The mom is from Rivers in Nigeria. Even though she was born here, she has close ties to the country as well. Um, I'm Yoruba. We don't speak the same language. We speak two different languages, except English. And she has a first name which is my tribe, and the middle name is her tribe, and then the last name is my last name.
Fair enough.
Yeah. So I don't know how, like, in terms of integrating her into the culture, I don't know what else is bigger
Yeah.
than that.
The
you know?
name. Yeah. Yeah.
No
Are
matter
you
where
are
you
you
go.
fearful of her being raised in this world, this American society? This.
Listen, man, that's a valid question because I have a lot of friends that they don't have kids, and I don't blame them because me personally, I've always asked, it's like, do you really want to bring a child to this world where a crazy man can just invade a country and start killing innocent people, global warming, all that stuff? Like, what's gonna be for them when we are gone? Like, racist America. You walking into a building and feeling you don't belong.
Yeah.
You ask all those questions. If you're a numbers guy like me, you think twice before you do things. But at the same thing, I always feel like we all gotta keep trying because if we all think that way, then we're gonna go extinct.
Yes,
Because
sir.
it's like everybody thinking that way, then that's it. That's what they want. So we don't procreate, and that's pretty much it. Like we cannot think that way. It's important to ask those questions, but I'm not worried about bringing her. I think the way you raise your child will determine how they will be when they grow up, like stand on their 2 feet
Yes,
and
sir.
be able to make their own decisions. If the foundation is the most important thing. You got to start right now.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
Fair enough. Get us ready for Tuesday. What do you see happening? What's it going to take for USA to pull it off against Iran? Talk to me, man.
Nothing less than a win. Anything less than a win and we out. Because right now we have 2 points. Iran has 3 points. If we draw that game, Iran gets 4 points, and then we get stuck in 3 points.
So what we should see is an aggressive American team.
Aggressive, man. Send all
Shots on goals.
Send a nuclear weapon, bro. Mother of all bombs, Mohab, everything. You gotta go like you have to play with no brakes on. Today we kind of like play with the brakes on, like being cautious because for obvious reasons we're playing the number 5 country in the world, so we had to be a little bit cautious at the back. This time around, I don't mind playing 3 defenders. You have to attack. If you do not attack, you cannot score goals.
Where you gonna watch the game at?
Well, I'm going to watch it at home. It's not as big as today. Today, it's just like super exciting because there's so many people with the English jersey and the American jerseys, and everybody's grabbing a beer, and it's like, oh, it's like if they can't always look at us as one team.
Do you know anybody that's in attendance right now?
In terms of what?
Watching at Qatar.
Oh, oopsie. No, I don't.
No? What are we hearing about the accommodations for the players and their families? I'm sure they're comfortable.
Players will always be comfortable. There is no negotiating that. In terms of the fans, it's just pretty much tents in the desert. It's like when FEMA.
Yo, bro, they got fans in tents.
Absolutely. When FEMA creates temporary nets after a disastrous hurricane. Okay, that's pretty much what they have there. Don't get it wrong. I'm pretty sure there are people who can afford to go stay in the hotels, but are they allowed to go beyond how the Olympics has the Olympic Village?
Yeah.
Because of who Qatar as a country is and how they're so secretive about so many things. You want to host the World Cup, there's going to be over like millions of people in your country. If you're not ready to accommodate them for who they are, either gay or love to drink or whatever, then you should have no business hosting the World Cup.
Yeah.
It's just, there's not enough time to talk about all that. But again, go research sports washing and see how this countries try to use the beautiful game to like hide all the atrocities they commit in the countries.
How many views you think we're going to get for this video?
Not a lot. You know why?
Why?
Because I'm not big on social media.
Yo, bro, you can send it to all your little group chat. Yo,
I do not. To be honest with you, I'm not, when I was younger, I'm still young, but when I was younger, I was big on social media. But right now, again, asking how fatherhood has changed me, I just feel like if I'm not making money off social media, I'm not involved. I don't have TikTok on my phone. I don't have Snapchat. I'm on it maybe once a week.
Is this video going to make it to Nigeria?
Absolutely. Why not?
All right. Yo, I need 200 views. 200.
200
We
views?
can do 200.
I got
I'll
you.
be doing like 90 on my own with you, bro. You good for another 110. All right.
110. You have no idea who you're talking to. Have you been to my my Instagram page? It literally tells you nothing to see here, man. The most boring IG. Keep moving.
Nah, bro.
I'm kind of like a troll on Instagram, actually. I just try to correct people in the bullshit. People just say stupid things and you have to fact check them. That's my job on Instagram, and nobody likes that.
My brother, I appreciate you, man. I always have, man. I always appreciate your authenticity. You've been a solid brother since day one. Show love all the time. Your second appearance on the show, you pulled up to my city.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I appreciate it, man. Thanks for having me, all right?
That's Dare Ayoola. Dare Ayoola.
Yes, sir.
William Holly, that's WBH Radio. We out.